into an exciting edition of Talkin Bengals. We are quite literally going to be shooting from the hip tonight, as we are in the part of the offseason where free agency is basically all done, and the draft is still about a month away. So there's not a whole lot of exciting stuff to talk about. So we're going to kind of just jump in and see where the night takes us. And you know what? Welcome, Josh and Nick, two out of three co-hosts ain't bad. You know, Ernst has like other responsibilities and whatnot, so we respectfully will miss him tonight. And Nick, jump on in. What topic you want to talk about first?
Of course, I'm going to talk about the kickoff rule.
Yes.
How stupid are you? You're ruining football. First, you move the line. Josh, can you mute yourself real quick? You're getting a lot of feedback. You get the freaking kicking team starting off, 5 yards in front. So now you have more touchbacks. Now you're going to penalize the team for kicking the ball through the end zone. And then on top of that, you are going to bring the kick coverage 30 yards from the end zone. What happens when you want to do an onside kick?
You have to announce it. You literally have to say, "We want the onside kick."
No, that literally ruins the whole point of doing an onside kick.
Yeah.
It ruins the whole, you take out a very important part of the game. There's teams where they have legit have strategies in where they just do an onside kick randomly during the game.
That ship sailed.
Now you can't just do random onside kicks.
That you cannot.
So stupid.
Well, I think it's funny because, the reason they brought this about is, we want to see more kickoff returns happen. Okay, well, the old kickoff return rule where, you're backed up at 25 or whatever it was, we used to kick from the 30, wherever it was, can't remember, 30, I think. There were more kickoff returns, but they're like, but player safety. So now basically you're going to see more kickoff return touchdowns because it's just a running play. That's literally all it is. You're fielding the ball, and if you make it through the front line of people, because they're all just lined up too. It's not like it's a echelon level. Maybe they can be on two different yard lines. But I think 9 of the guys or 8 or 9 of the people have to be on that initial line, and then maybe 1 or 2 can be a couple of yards. Maybe 10 yards further back. 2 yards, that's it. 2 yards further back.
2 players.
Okay, it's 2 players.
2 players to receive.
It's 2 players to receive, but on the defense, you can only, or kicking team, you can only have so many people back off the front line. I think you have to have 8 or 9 on the front line. What?
10 guys have to be on the line.
Holy crap! Just the kicker?
And just the kicker back.
Okay, so yeah, literally, you break one line, touchdown. So if you come up with an effective strategy of blocking and just create a sliver of daylight, touchdown. And to me, that's not going to be. It's going to be more of a pain in the butt than it's going to be exciting.
Well, I mean, if you look, I think I heard the Chiefs, they hired a kick returner. He's a rugby player from Australia. They just hired a big dude from Australia that can run. I mean, it's cheating the system. I mean, this is a rule they got from what was that?
So it's smart to do that.
Yeah, I mean they I think the NFL got this rule from the XFL last season, or the USFL, I think is what it was. I mean, it makes more excitement for the fans, but it's not football. I mean, the whole point of having special teams is to have the differentiation between it, not to make more excitement during kickoffs. I mean, kickoffs it's not supposed to be easy. You can get to the 25-yard line most of the time, 30 if you're lucky. Anywhere past that, it's a big plus. So, I mean, it's not supposed to be, we're going to get to the 50-yard line every single time now. No, that's not what it is.
I mean, I want to go back to the good old days. I don't know, sound like an old grouchy guy. But you kick off from the 30, touchbacks go to the 20. There was nothing wrong with that. I never saw a problem with it. Oh, player safety. Players are getting hurt too much on kickoffs. Then don't play the game. it's not your star athletes on kickoff or kick return anyway. That's something that cracks me up. It's not like you're putting Jamar Chase out there or Joe Burrow. That's not happening. You're literally putting a specialist who most of his job is to kick, return kicks, or to tackle people on that special teams. They're not your primary players. Not that you want anybody to get injured, but it's part of the game.
I mean, you just completely take out a very important part of the game. You know, the long kick return, the long kick is huge. I mean, you take out squib kicks, you take out onside kicks, you take out legitimate kick coverage, legitimate, a return package, on blocking. I mean, you take out the complete challenging part of special teams. I mean, that'd be like having the punter stand at the 10-yard line while everybody else stands at the other 40. And if the punter can kick it over everybody, once the guy catches the ball, now everybody goes.
Oh, that's next. Don't even worry. That'll probably be the next
That's so
crazy.
stupid. It's so stupid. Like, now you can have only 2 guys returning the ball, 2 guys back to return the ball. All 9 guys have to be within like 5 yards of that line of scrimmage. And then all 10 of the kickoff team, except for the kicker, have to be up there. What happens when one team just decides, screw it. Once we see the ball go over our head and we kick the ball over to the right, what we're going to do is we're just going to pack in behind each other. Like, forget it. Or the kick return team, okay, the ball goes over our head, we're all going to go back. And then as soon as the guy catches the ball, we're just going to dive at their knees. Because that's what they're making tackling now. You just have to dive at their freaking knees. What they wanted banned in the first place. Instead of this hip drop crap.
Take them to the ground gently. It's like you literally pick them up and just rock them. So hip drop tackles are dumb being banned. Yeah, so next year you're going to see all kinds of flags and stuff thrown on critical moments too. And that's what it's going to end up being. Is a very critical, like 3rd and 15, and the guy's going to catch a 2-yard slant, and they're going to do a hip drop tackle on him. And they go like, 15-yard penalty or automatic first down or whatever the crap is, and it's going to be 15. A major momentum shift in the game. Just it ticks me off, and I mean I understand you have to change with the times a little bit. Sometimes the game needs to change. There was nothing wrong with how kickoffs were done in the early 2000s and before. There was nothing wrong with just being – do they not remember when people literally would ear hole people? That was a legitimate form of tackling, was just put your helmet into their ear hole and knock them out. I'm not saying that's
the goal of tackling.
But at least now you can't even use your weight to take down a 250-pound guy that's running as fast as he can. Like, okay, just grab on and hold on for dear life. I remember that happened to me, not that on the same level, but in high school, like when I was a tiny sophomore, gigantic senior, so I was like, I'm just going to hold on and hope he falls over eventually. Like, that's not going to work. It's not a very good strategy, or else they're going to gain 10 more yards before you luckily drag them down. It's just ruining the game. 100% ruining the game. And all in the name of safety. And
like you were saying, you got to change a little bit with the times. Like, I understand the whole head-to-head contact, trying to eliminate that. Understandable. Okay. When you teach football to kids, you don't teach head-on tackling, right? You teach them good, proper form tackling. Keep your head up.
Take your career to new heights with Constructive Curiosity. Whether it's career coaching, mental performance training, or business management consulting, Constructive Curiosity has the insight to get it right. Visit constructivecuriosity.com to get started today.
Head to the ball side, make your eyes touch the ball. Wrap your arms around them and bring them to the ground. Like, it's simple. Like, if you just have coaches teaching that early on, you don't have to worry about the head-on collisions later on, because they're not going to be torpedo bombing people. But I digress about that part. The original rule they wanted in place for the NFLPA, they wanted the knee tackles gone. They wanted the diving at the knees gone. Because you're going to tear somebody's knee up and they're not going to be able to play football again. You're going to tear up the rest of their lives. Like, screw football, you're going to tear up the possibility of them walking. And like Palomalu was a huge dive bomb the knees. Like he'd throw his head straight at their knees, like taking out the kneecaps. Whatever. He was athletic, blah, blah, blah. He was a Steeler. Whatever. Go cut your hair. Like, I mean, seriously, like, how come all these rules that they want that like need to actually be put in place, like the diving at the knees, why don't they fix that? Right?
They do if you're the quarterback.
Why not?
Well, because Mark Andrews got hurt last season. That's the only reason they banned it this year is because Mark Andrews got hurt, and he's a big star.
I can just see it now. Bengals, Chiefs, AFC Championship game. You know, big Sunday night football next February. Here comes Burrow down the field. Oh, looks like a game-winning drive. 30 seconds left. Patrick Mahomes comes out on the offense. You know, we kick the ball to the end zone so they don't get a chance to run the ball back. They get the ball at the 30. They got to score 5 points. So a touchdown's all he needs. He throws a deep ball down the field. Guy catches the ball miraculously because, you know, he throws the defender off of him and they won't call pass interference on the offense. Next play, hip drop tackle on Kelsey. 15-yard penalty puts him like half the distance to the goal line. Patrick Mahomes somehow comes out with something out of his butthole because they made it happen for him. I mean, like
Nick, you gotta stop. You give me flashbacks for something that hasn't
it
even
writes
happened yet.
it writes its own history.
Yeah, and making it depressing. Can we just have a hip drop tackle on a Bengals player instead and not get seriously hurt? That doesn't happen that way, I know.
I mean, if you're tackling somebody, back in the day, like you guys remember, the whole point of tackling somebody was to hit them hard enough to where it hurt.
Yep.
Right? You want to hit them harder than they hit you because it's going to hurt them and not you.
Give a hit, don't take a hit.
Exactly. Now, like, you watch the high school football games and it's like they're not even hitting each other anymore. They're trying to like arm tackle and crap.
You gotta hug and take them to the ground. I mean, they're running portions of the game, and I mean, I don't know. People say we're just old guys now, you know, yelling at the clouds or whatever. But it is what it is, you know. The game used to be a better quality than it is now. It used to be a better product, and it wasn't quite as obvious that there was golden boys. There always has been, you know, people that were good or, you know, got a little bit more calls than other people. But now it's like you literally can't touch Patrick Mahomes. If you touch Patrick Mahomes, it's a penalty. And the same thing goes for other players too. If you touch them, then that's a big problem. But I've literally seen Burrow get killed multiple times. There, it's like, that sucks to be you, Joe. It's got to go both ways or no way. And I don't get it. I digress. I know it's not really, that's just complaining. It's not really coming up with a question or a solution. But I'm tired of seeing Patrick Mahomes literally walk through people because they're afraid to tackle.
Well, I mean, that was like what happened when they played against the Dolphins. He literally ran right past 3 people, and they didn't even try to tackle him because they were afraid to get called penalties on, so they just let him go by and get an extra 10 yards. I mean, that he has the Tom Brady treatment just 10 times.
I mean, you can get a late hit penalty when you're still in bounds. That shows you the league screwed up.
He's a running quarterback, and he's running near the sideline trying to pick up yards. And he has not gone out of bounds yet. I'm sorry, you're free game. That's your fault. You should have gone out of bounds when you had the chance.
Well, he's probably the only quarterback that they never consider him a running back. You know, everybody else, as soon as you leave that line of scrimmage, you're a running back or receiver, whatever position you'll say you are. So, yeah, you can get, unless you slide, which the funny thing is, too, they act like only quarterbacks can slide. Anybody can slide. If you want to slide, you're giving yourself up. It's just quarterbacks do it. Other positions don't. So yeah, like if he wants to run the ball, go for it. But if you get your head taken off, like what would happen to Jamar or Mixon still here, or anybody else, you can't complain. You ran the ball. You made the decision to put yourself in harm's way. It is what it is. So, I don't know. Josh, what fun topic do you want to go through since we kind of took both of the rule changes?
I mean, I was kind of hoping to go with the hip drop tackle, but
Done.
oh, heck. I mean, wind's taking underneath my wings now.
I don't think that's how flying works, but okay.
I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly.
What's on your wings?
Oh,
You didn't lift.
Oh, I don't know. How about we just go with all the rumors that we kept hearing yesterday about everything else? Like I saw Justin Jefferson trading to the Bengals now. Before I realized it was April 1st, I was like, what the hell is going on with Facebook right now?
There's our PG-13.
Joe Burrow was my favorite. That was the funniest one I saw. It was like Joe Dirt version of Joe Burrow. It was awesome. Cracked me up, and I was like, yes. He literally needs to come out of the woodwork with a wig or like a fake mustache just to make us all laugh. Oh goodness! Anything? What are the other good ones you guys saw yesterday?
I think Joe Burrow with the Joe Dirte, the Joe Dirte. I think that would be freaking sweet. Like I would strongly back that. The Joe Dirte. Winning the Super Bowl with the Joe Dirte. The whole
hilarious.
Oh, that would be the best nickname of any quarterback in the NFL.
Joe Dirte.
Let's run just random topics here. I'm going to bring up one that's near and dear to most Cincinnati area people's hearts. Why is there so much hate against Cincinnati-style chili? The rest of the country does nothing but hate. So my question is honestly to you guys, because to me it's different. Cincinnati-style chili is not chili. It's not like you think of like Texas chili or any kind of other chili. It's not chili. To me, calling Cincinnati-style chili is like calling cheesecake cake. They have the same category, but one is far superior to the rest because it's not the same. Yeah, exactly. It's unique. It's superior to the other form because it's not the same. So, I mean, what are your all's thoughts on that now that I've thrown out the great chili debate of 2024?
I'll take this last, Josh. You go ahead. I'll let you get your words in.
Oh, man. I mean, Cincinnati-style chili, it's basically just meat sauce. And it's fantastic. If you haven't had it, you are missing out. Skyline is the best. Everyone knows it, Casey. You can just take the loss. Everyone knows Skyline's the best.
Let's start for life.
I mean, it really isn't chili. Real chili has all the beans and peppers, onions. It's got all that stuff in it. But Cincinnati style chili, you don't have to have it. You can just have cheese on top with some hot sauce. And oh man, I want some. I want some conies right now. It sounds fantastic. I want to go to Skyline and get myself some conies. Get myself some chili cheese fries. I'm just gonna think about this while I go get my crying daughter real quick. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, all right. First of all, the top 3 Cincinnati chilies, not in any particular order because they're all just fantastic. You have Empress chili, you have Cincinnati chili, so Dixie chili, and Skyline. All right, I'm sorry. Gold Star's garbage.
Totally wrong.
Gold Star's garbage. Anyway.
You eat garbage so many times.
Casey,
it's not even funny.
You know You know I'm right, and it just burns you, and you have to rebut it because you're so wrong. You just can't take it. I know, but
Skyline, okay, now I'm doing more comparisons here. Skyline's like going along and be like, I like the Yankees because everybody else liked the Yankees when we were kids. No. Or I like King Griffey Jr. because everybody else likes King Griffey Jr. You know what? He was not cool until he got Cincinnati. But I don't like Skyline. Skyline sucks. It's the inferior chili. It is.
you're just wrong. Like, I don't even have to argue with it. It's just wrong. And I think that everybody that listens to our podcast knows that you're wrong. Anyways, let me get a point across. All right. Josh is onto something, right? Cincinnati chili is more like a meat sauce. More of a, you're not going to just eat it out of a bowl, just the chili. It's designed to be put on things like chips, right? With your Skyline dip. It's designed to be put on your French fries, right? Just like, chili cheese fries from Skyline because they're delicious, right? Same thing with Dixie chili. Some of the best chili cheese fries are from Dixie chili. Anyways.
Dixie's the best.
And then, right, even the best, putting it on your darn hot dog, throw some mustard on it, and some cheese with some chopped up onions. God bless America, right? You don't get any more American than that, right? But I will say, all right, Texas style chili is pretty darn good, real chunky. I say that, kind of the further west you go and kind of southish, kind of like Texas area, it's more like a stew. How much can I put in this? Where the chili I grew up on is, some ground beef, maybe a little bit of seasoning, some salt and pepper, throw some, chili beans in there and call it a day, right? Yeah, I don't know about throwing all the peppers and everything else that everybody throws in it. You kind of, I don't know, I think you kind of clash too much. I'm more simple. I'm a simpleton. Who cares? That's just my opinion.
I don't think your opinion's wrong on that one. You've been wrong on other things this episode, but not on that. But yeah, I just want to let the entire world know, stop hating on Cincinnati style chili because we're not saying it's regular chili. No one is saying it's chili. It's Cincinnati style chili. We wouldn't take it to a chili cook-off. That's what we're saying. I'm not going to show up at a chili cook-off with Gold Star because it's the best. But
you wouldn't show up to anything with Gold Star.
What?
There's a reason Big Rich put it in one of their songs.
Whatever.
All right, last thing that we need to talk about chili. All right, so you remember the episode of Parks and Rec when Ron Swanson went to the grocery store? It was like a Whole Foods store, and they were trying to give him like bacon that wasn't made from meat.
Veggie bacon. Yeah.
He just keeps on throwing it in the garbage. Yeah, that's what you do with Gold Star. Anyways. More, please, so nobody else has to eat this garbage.
That was not the finger I was going to get us censored. So there you go.
That was your ring
delicious.
finger. People, who cares?
I know. It was
delicious. I like all of them. They're all good.
Looking for a great book? Check out Once Left the Field of Valor. When Damien Shaw finds a blood-stained envelope after a battle, he is struck by a series of debilitating flashbacks that threaten to unhinge him. The letter leads him on a grueling journey of penance to present it to its intended recipient. This addicting page-turner is filled with action, suspense, romance, and perseverance. It will keep you on edge to the very end and leave you wanting more. Get your printed edition or ebook today on Amazon.
Yeah. So I guess that's what we could say. We could eat any of them if we needed to. But we have different
Eat
strokes
any of
for
them
different,
anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks. It is the superior product, but it's not regular chili. Anyways, let's move on to something football related. Who's got a topic that's somewhat related to football?
Reds lost.
Oh, dang. Well,
That's
you
not
know
football.
what? That's good enough. I've been keeping up more with the Reds right now than I have football.
Bryce Harper had a day. And Marsh, he had a really good hit in the bottom of the 7th. Put him up big.
Reds still don't have a bullpen.
Hey, they're 2-2. They're still 500.
They'd be 2-3 if they lost tonight.
2-3?
Because they lost 2 out of 3 to the Nationals because they have no bullpen to speak of.
Oh, they won 2 out of 3,
buddy.
Yeah, they won game
Nick's
1
right.
and 3.
Nick's right. We have it documented. It's recorded. I beat Casey legitimately.
Okay.
Boom, baby.
I got to lead up against the Nationals.
Don't you dare
Yeah,
cut
no,
this
so
out,
they won
Casey.
game 1 big, and then game
Phillies last
3,
night.
they won in the 9th inning. And
Oh,
then they
they
won
did.
last night in the 10th inning.
I turned it off because of that Easter thing. I was like, well, they lost. And they get back and won. Good for them. Dang. I am off my game tonight.
You better not cut that out. I'm going to hold you to it.
Okay. I'm not going to it's literally like a blind squirrel theory here. Good for you, little guy. We'll get you a trophy.
2 out of 3 think that Gold Star sucks, so we're good. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I'll get you a trophy. Don't worry. A plaque that says the one time Nick was right.
Yeah.
And I'll keep my list of the million times I was right.
Casey.
Oh, goodness.
Don't over-exaggerate your 2 wins.
Oh, so what are they? Oh, who'd they play last night? They played the Phillies and won. So what are they then? 3-2?
No, they'd be 2-2. This was game.
No, it's 3-2 now. They won 2 against the Nationals, 1 against the Phillies. They only lost 1 to Nationals, 1 to Phillies.
Okay, 3-2. Okay.
Yeah, so they'd be 2-2 right now.
Yes, 3-2. Still, their bullpen sucks. So I'm going to go ahead and put out my offer. I can come back and pitch just as bad as half of your bullpen for a lot less money. I will
Or
take
worse.
Yeah. Bro, you want to walk batters to start the 9th inning, this is your guy right here. I will walk as many people as you want me to. I can do that for your ball club. Or I can give up a lot of leadoff home runs. Whichever way you want to take it. I'll pay me a lot less money than you're paying these guys.
I could just throw it really slow because my arm hurts real bad. And they just won't even be able to hit it because it'll be so slow.
Yeah, for the first 2 or 3 batters, I think we actually might be fine. It's like, is that ball even coming to us? It's like 35 miles an hour.
Is that
You only got to get it through 3 batters.
Yeah. So as long as put me into close, and by the time I'm done with the 9th inning, they'll be like, yeah, that guy, he's gonna be an all-star closer. Yeah, I will.
Who said you need speed to be a closer?
You literally see the batters asking the umpire, like, can I just keep my back foot barely in the box? Can I move all the way out of the box toward the mound, please? No, you gotta keep yourself in the box. No, it's all 1 foot in the box. Half a foot in the box? It's like be slow pitch softball for them. They just have to count to 10 before they swing.
Slow pitch softball was a lot harder when I first started trying to play it.
Yeah, they have to be like 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Then you could swing. Otherwise, you're always way ahead of it.
Yeah,
Oh, hey, I
already
actually
there.
have a Bengals-related topic.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Joe Burrow is throwing again. He
Yeah.
didn't get to do this last week. He's throwing in practices, not in official Bengals practices, but he is throwing, and they say pretty good.
Well, I hope so, or else next year's going to suck. Kind of the franchise, so good news there. Good call, Josh, getting us with some fun stuff since we had to complain about other crap and have to be a divided podcast on which chili is the best. We're having all kinds of moral dilemmas here today, but at least we can all be happy about Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow throwing again, that's exciting. You know, he's actually gripping the ball properly and throwing it good. I mean, that was probably one of my major concerns, whether or not he could grip the ball appropriately.
Isn't it crazy how they can make athletes heal perfectly fine? You go see a doctor, and you're like, well, I guess I'm going to limp the rest of my life.
Yep. It's amazing what money can do for you, Casey. It's amazing what money can do for you.
Why didn't one of you get rich? You just lived off your coattails. Jeez.
If I knew
friends.
If I knew the recipe to get rich, I would never work a day in my life.
Once again, this has started off the rails to begin with, everybody. So if you're still listening, thank you for even just being here. This may be one of the most ridiculous episodes we've ever done, but it's been fun so far. So let's see what other Bengals adjacent stuff we have. Coming up, we will have some draft preview episodes. Going to try to get Sean Clement back on from Sooner Sports. Give us who the Bengals should draft in the first round. And we'll get into that more over the next couple weeks. But right now, let's look at some other fun things to talk about. So, what's the most ridiculous trade rumor other than Justin Jefferson that you guys have heard?
Oh, did you guys see the Bill Belichick one? That he was coming to Cincinnati? Get out of here. That man ain't coming to Cincinnati. Not as an assistant coach. Are you kidding me? That's the biggest April Fool's.
Yeah, people tried to pull Marvin Lewis again. That one cracks me up. Marvin Lewis is coming back. No. Oh, Marv. Favorite Marv press conference ever? So, do you want to come back as the coach next year? Sure. I shouldn't put a sign that you need to find a new head coach when your head coach says sure to come back and coach again. That should have been pretty obvious. But who knows? I think the well's running dry pretty quickly tonight because there's just not much going on. And we've never lied to you, our listeners. We don't have an in-depth draft thing. We're not going to deep dive into a 7-round full mock draft because that's just not what we do here. We're not an analytics podcast. We're fun, we're light. So, boys, open up for anything y'all got. I'm kind of out of topics.
Well, let's talk about the weather here in the Cincinnati area. Okay?
Sunk this low.
All right. Meteorologists, they predicted, okay, we're going to have severe thunderstorms throughout the day to the point where school was let out early. Some schools didn't even go to school. Some school systems didn't even have school today because of the prediction and the way that, their models predicted the weather. And then look at what happened.
We had the Weather Channel here today.
Hey, out of an abundance of caution, okay? Like, you remember when we were kids, you stick your head into the corner of the wall with your butt in the air, praying to God that the walls wouldn't fall down because your butt crack was showing. Like, I mean, what in the world?
You're just really trying to paint a picture tonight, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I'm kidding there. I mean, but seriously, like, my wife, she sent me a picture of, like, back in the day when we were kids, we would have all be in the hallway, because there was never any windows in the hallway. And our heads, with these kids, they had their heads, in the corner with their hands over their head and, like we used to do. And she's like, what would our kids do with that? I was like, I don't know. They'd probably freak out. Who knows? They'd probably sit there and start crying and lose their crap because nobody ever really prepared them to think like, oh, hey, this is just in preparation, just in case. The first fire drill, I remember my oldest coming home, just lost it. We had a fire drill. It was so traumatizing. It was like, look, dude, this is a drill. Like, this is just in case there is a fire. You know what to do. It's practice.
That crap happens. But I mean, hey, got to hang out with my kids all afternoon. And, when the storms did finally roll through at like 6 o'clock, I was literally right in between the two. So we barely had any. I'll take it. I'll always take that. But I knew meteorologists, we started calling them weather guessers back when I was a pilot. They're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be beautiful the whole day. And then you go out there and like, no, it's crap. But the best one is trying to land the helicopter in Afghanistan. Like, hey, what's the weather look like? Oh, 10 miles clear visibility. We're like, what? Like we're literally looking outside, storms are rolling in. Like, can you say again what the weather is? Yeah, 10 miles clear viz. And then we'd ask them, can you go check your sensor? Their sensor had been knocked over by the strong winds that were coming through in thunderstorms. So on a straight line right down the road, 10 miles straight visibility. And I was like, wow, I can do your guys' job. Just don't even pay attention or open a window or look outside at all. Just sit there with your headphones in telling us what the visibility is. Great.
I wish I could get paid to be wrong like that all the time.
I know, it's great. Though, like I said, I used to have to dodge thunderstorms too. Like, oh yeah, there's a couple out there, a couple that fly 40 miles out of your way just to get back where you need to go to avoid the thunderstorms that were occasional or spotty. Stupid meteorologist. And they're right, but the worst part was, sorry, I won't. Now we're on this tangent. We had like meteorologists on Channel 9. I don't know who they are. I usually don't watch the local news very often. But they were getting pretty snippy with each other. To the point where I was like, man, I could feel the tension between these two. It's very uncomfortable. Like one guy be talking, they go like, yeah, thanks for that point. Back to what I'm saying.
Because one is the chief meteorologist, the other one is underneath of that person.
Yeah, still sound. Do you remember Angels in the Outfield though?
Oh yeah.
The Ranch Wilder and the other guy, whoever the other guy announcer was. That's what it felt like. Every time he opened his mouth, it's like, yeah, back to me. It's like, it's not a good look, man. It's not a good look.
Oh my gosh.
So Josh, what random topic do you have?
Oh, I was actually thinking about talking about the weather earlier.
Well, you're just always a day
Hey,
late.
you got to turn the top down.
Guess what? You just proved that advertising on podcasts works. Reach thousands of local listeners each week and grow your business. Reach out to Talkin Bengals today to find out more by emailing talkinbengals@gmail.com.
I mean, I wasn't too upset with that. I got to come home and hang out with the kids and actually play with them for a little bit, so that wasn't too bad. But I mean, it's always a nice thing to come home early and hang out with the family. But random topics, heck, I don't know. Movie quotes. Go, Nick.
I'm too drunk to taste this chicken.
Oh Lord, milk was a bad choice. I don't do it appropriately because it gets a little loud.
Oh my gosh, is that good? Are you saying Jesus Christ?
You know, with all due respect, and I do mean with all due respect, Casey, Gold Star is not worth a velvet painting of a whale and a dolphin getting it on.
Oh, you know what?
Josh already took a PG-13. I figured I would just continue.
No, it's still PG-13. We're allowed one F-bomb.
Yes, I can totally say this then. But you know, skyline translated means a whale's vagina. So
No, I don't think that's right.
no, totally right. No, when in Rome.
That's not what that means.
It was lost in translation like 1,000 years ago. Nobody knows what it means.
So every quote we know was just Will Ferrell quotes.
Hey, I threw in a major league quote.
Hey, Casey's a peacock. You just got to let him fly. Just let him fly.
You know what? When you don't desk pop, you crap all over the Talking Bengals podcast. Well, the rest of us desk pop all the time.
But them folks desk pop. That's a real thing, isn't it?
You just got to creep.
Yeah. That's another TLC reference, Cap. Come on. You're telling me, Gene, that you don't know who TLC is?
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Lord.
My favorite part was seeing the captain, Gene, in Bed Bath & Beyond leading the team meetings.
Hey
That
guys,
was
you want the
hilarious. Oh my
gosh,
God.
really. I think of an obscure movie we haven't quoted yet that's still hilarious. That's another Will Ferrell one. Dang it. I was about to do You're My Boy. That's another Will Ferrell.
old school.
Will Ferrell is such a part of our, our childhood growing up through our teenage years. And the best one now is we're literally Frank the Tank when he's at the party at first. He's like, yeah, we're going to go to Home Depot, maybe buy some stuff for the yard. It's going to be a crazy weekend. And that's literally what your weekend looks like. Like, yeah, and then we're going to go do some kids' sports. Then we're going to go to Home Depot and buy some stuff, or Lowe's, or wherever other hardware store, because nowhere's sponsoring us. So I don't need to keep saying Home Depot. Yeah, go wherever hardware store you want to. If you want to sponsor us, great.
Podium Automotive is a proud sponsor of Talkin Bengals. In Greater Cincinnati, it's Podium Automotive for all your auto needs. Skilled technicians, quality service you can trust, and fair prices. Tell us Talkin Bengals sent you and get 5% off all services. Schedule your appointment today on Facebook at Podium Automotive or call 859-869-0097.
Not, then just go wherever you feel like. We're not above shameless plugs. We will also run down your competition if you want to give us some money. I will say Lowe's is a piece of garbage store if you want me to. I have no problem. But
No shame.
throw some dollars. Hopefully, Josh Tire Discounters never sponsors us, or it's gonna get ugly.
That's okay. They'll badmouth themselves.
All right, we're gonna mess this whole thing up with our own advertisement. Screw up your.
Nepotism.
We could do Happy Gilmore quotes.
Ooh, it's a good one. So let's just do England quotes for a minute, and then we'll close it out.
Ooh, actually, that reminds me. I keep seeing stuff on Facebook for different Adam Sandler movies coming back with number 2s. Happy Gilmore 2.
I can't wait.
I saw one for Little Nicky 2.
I don't know.
That would be
Sandler.
Shooter.
But I would still watch Little Nicky 2.
Yeah, we're probably all gonna watch them. Like, these are disappointing. But it's fine.
Oh, you can
Big
count.
grown-ups too.
You can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot. Where are you going,
This one's-
Shooter?
Let's take care of it myself then. I'm going to Sizzler. Bob Barker. It's probably the best scene of the movie. Get your butt kicked by Bob Barker. How embarrassing is that?
The price is wrong, Bobby.
That's definitely the PG version of that.
I wasn't going to finish that one.
They gotta keep it a little bit PG. He did kill
It's just
Chubbs,
like
though.
eating pieces of poop for breakfast.
You eat pieces of poop for breakfast?
No.
Oh goodness.
You will not make this shot, you.
Jack something.
What?
So many of these Adam Sandler quotes are really hard because none of them are clean enough to say. Billy Madison, Mr. Penguin, it's too hot out here for you. You need it to be cold.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Miss Davis, will you go to prom with me?
Oh, and everyone varsity blues. I don't want more life.
We are effectively no longer talking Bengals. Now we're just talking.
Just talking is the name of this episode now.
Yeah.
Just talking.
Well, I'll do the shameless plug. Guys, follow us on all of our handles. All of our handles on our beacons on our Facebook page, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. Please make sure you also follow us on YouTube. It'll help us out with being able to do live shows. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Word. Josh, any closing thoughts?
Uday, still looking for a great season. Go Reds. And have a great weekend. Everyone be safe.
Every week is another week closer to football. So thank you for hanging in with us. We've already got our shameless plugs. Enjoy yourself. Hopefully the weather gets nice and warm. You can enjoy your time. Until next time, who dey?
Okay.
Today.
Thank you for listening to Talkin Bengals. Be sure to like and subscribe to Talkin Bengals on Facebook and Instagram at Talkin Bengals. You can also listen to Talkin Bengals on your preferred podcast provider. See you next time. Who dey?